So welcome to another video, and again we are here in University, Beijing Normal University, and on my this side I have Professor David, and he's University of Canterbury,
right,
and
yep.
he is a specialist in social sciences, and his research in this conference was about the decline of social sciences department and the decline of enrollment in social sciences department. And of course, all of you know, I have Professor Hameed with me, who is Dean of School of Social Sciences in University of Management Technology. Professor, let's start. What do you think are the main reasons of the decline of enrollment in social sciences?
I think a major part of it is that funding arrangements for universities have been increasingly tied towards student fees, and this is a deliberate part of the neoliberal model. It's supposed to, what they say, is to make universities more responsive to what students actually want. But what it actually does is it means that that students who have to pay for their fees, particularly ones who are from less privileged backgrounds, are much more likely to view their whole university experience and their choice of courses in universities through a much more narrow, instrumental, what kind of financial return am I going to get on my university education? And if you ask yourself what should I study to get the best return on my investment in an education, and that's what shapes your decision, then you don't move towards humanities and social sciences, you go to other areas as well. And so as a result of that, the student numbers have declined, university finances have been more constricted, and so areas of study and research and whole communities of scholarship and understanding have been wound down, and that's happening all around the world, and that's a really, really serious issue. It's I call it an issue of market failure in humanities and social sciences. And in fact, if you look at all the really big issues that are facing the world today, you look at poverty, you look at issues of security and terrorism, you look at war, you look at the refugee crisis that have been caused by that. They don't have technical solutions to those. They have solutions involved in what the humanities and social sciences deals with, how people work together to make a better society. And those issues are becoming more and more serious, and the areas in our educational institutions where we should be introducing people to environments where they can explore new ways of considering all of these sorts of issues, the big issues facing humanity. At the very time we need them, they're just getting squeezed out, and I think it's a really, really serious issue.
Thank you. So, Professor Hameed, as you are working as a Dean in Department School of Social Sciences in GMT, what do you say about the decline in enrollment in social sciences in Pakistan?
Thank you, because I think he is very right. Funding is a big instrument, and the research in social science will be even more expensive than the research in physical science. And if you need to write a paper, research paper, you know how much effort you need to have and how much money you need to take. You need to get a field. So funding, I think, and he is also right. I think it's a trap that we are building very attractive slogans that students that they have not reached that maturity that they can see things before them, and they are maybe then after 50 years ahead. They are not able to do that. They don't have that vision, and when they have this vision, they don't have opportunity to do it. So I think it's a trap which is basically spread by the technology people and science people. without having much thought about the consequences. And I don't expect from them to think like we think about it. And I think the problem we have, like terrorism or invading technology into our lives, we are day by day. I personally, I feel that I'm being structured by the technology, and that's the threat. That is the threat we have. And you know that we have been, struggling with these smartphones for the last 3 years, 3 days, and nothing. And we are so dependent on those. So the question that remains always is that what to do about that. See, the political will must be there. And what I'm doing, I'm using like a critical theory to raise questions. For example, I'm raising question of out-of-school children with disabilities. Whose kids are those? They have a distance problem, they are distance, they have poverty, and they have disability. And you don't have school in near to their villages. Distance is a big problem. So who will take care of that? That is state responsibility. That's a challenge. That's if we make some awareness about the real problem, so that the government has to think about those problems, then the role of the scientists will also emerge. Because I don't think scientists or engineers will be able to respond to those challenges. Only we can. The other thing is that, the rigor in social research is very, very lacking. I think challenges we need to face as a collective, as a body of social scientists. There is attention on social sciences in Pakistan recently. We've seen that, and we have faced the terrorism. So they don't have technical solution. The army doesn't have technical solution. So what they're turning towards us, and they're asking us to find a solution, but we are not ready for that because we have not done any research on that. Even the terrorism is still to be researched. There are a lot of problems with that's construct. It's a construct very poorly defined. So it has been, it's not like it's a common enemy and a feeling that we all have to fight against it. It's not true right now because we have not been successful in defining that construct, and we don't know what are their attributes, and there is no research going on there. And the researchers are so scared that if we do research, then their life will be at stake. So I think the government has to show a political will and funding for that. But I fear, even though we have funding, even though we have political will, we still lack rigor in our research. A research that really can answer the questions people have in their minds. And that's the challenge social science has to face. I think we need to act collectively, collaboratively, because knowledge is not really a monopoly of any one body. It should be shared widely, and we should learn from each other. And I have participated in this social conference, but problem is that right now, participating in the conference like it's a technical doing. You pick up the topic, do here and there searches and find something and you present that. But that's not really facing the real challenge. So we need to push our students to face the real challenge. And you know what I'm doing over there? I'm doing, go to the field, talk to the people, come back and see what happens. And when they face challenge, then they need to have answered those questions. And that's triggered your internal mechanism to do a lot of sort of serious thinking.
Very right, Professor Hameed. You have actually pointed out very right things. So, Professor David, you were discussing about the market economy and the social sciences challenge. So, can you discuss it with our viewers? That how do you define the market economy, the market demand and supply with the social sciences enrollment?
I think the critical thing is to do with the way that the funding of university institutions is organised. And if you look at the University of California, for example, from 1989 through to 2015, the proportion of money that came, of their total budget that came from student fees, went from under 19% to over 60%. And that's a deliberate policy, and it's a deliberate policy introduced to try to make universities more directly responsive to the narrowly defined economic needs of society, the way policymakers see economic needs of society. And they are trying to encourage students to only take subjects with a view to what sort of job they're going to get afterwards. They're in the United Kingdom, they're publishing evaluation statistics looking at the employment rates of graduates from different universities, so that those universities will be highlighted and supported, and students will go more to those universities. So it's there's important stuff like that goes on in universities. It's important that universities train engineers and doctors and all of that. And I'm not arguing against that, but the whole area of humanities and social sciences, that is what it is essentially to be human. All of those big questions that you don't normally come across in everyday life. There's a world of information out there on the internet. What sort of skills of analysis and theory and understanding are we giving to young people to help make sense of all of that stuff? And Professor Hameed said, that students that don't know exactly what humanities and social sciences are, they don't. But, young people, they know, okay, I want to be an engineer. So they go to university, they learn to be an engineer. When I talk to students who are thinking about doing art subjects, I say to them, I don't know what you'll learn from this, whatever subjects you choose, but I can guarantee you that at the end of doing your Bachelor of Arts degree in whatever subject you choose, you will have changed in unpredictable ways, in ways that you couldn't predict in advance and that I couldn't predict in advance, and that's what an education, humanities and social sciences does. It changes you as a person, it introduces you to the realm of ideas, to the realm of critical thinking. And I just think it's really important, and for every human society to do that. And I think that the current system is just steering people away from that. And actually, I've just started a little research project where I'm starting to interview. I haven't actually started the interviews yet, but this is the plan, to interview students who are doing BA subjects and say, the research project is called "What do you think you're doing?" Why are you doing this? Everything is steering you, everything is telling you don't do this, and you're doing it anyway. And I'm interested to know, why are people still doing it? Because that's the interesting thing in a way. Everything is steering people away from it. And it's important that people do, and some people do, and with the students, with undergrad students who come in and you see their eyes light up, and they're introduced to this new world of ideas. It's important, and if it's just left to the market, it will wither and die. And so there needs to be some public recognition that this is important for society, and it can't just be left to the whim of market forces, that there's no actual funding and support for humanities and social sciences. There needs to be some actual commitment to it.
Thank you very much.
I think the other trap or trick, I think you need to think about that, is the offering of few science courses in engineering and probably medical sciences, and the way it is being taught. It's just look like a CGPA booster. No, it's not doing anything. The purpose of introducing social science, I know that. I was in states at that time, I was in Ohio State, and I know that what the purpose was different. The purpose was that the engineer who is doing engineering should be human as well.
Yeah.
But does these few courses, can make them human? No. So just this is such a CGV booster. They have good grade and they're happy. So we are not really playing with the social science, but when the social science play with you, you will be in trouble, a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's very valid point, that do not play with social sciences, as when social sciences will play with you, you will be in a lot of trouble. And as Professor David and Hameed, let me summarize it too before I end this video, is that we cannot leave social sciences on the whim of market forces. We have to intervene, the governments have to intervene. We need to build doctors and engineers, we need lawyers, we need all these things, but we need better human beings, we need better thinkers, we need philosophers who are able to solve the bigger problems we are facing today in our society. And those philosophers, those thinkers are made in the departments and schools of social sciences. And as Professor Devan Hameed mentioned, that there is a dire need that we shall not run too fast that we shall forget social sciences behind, but we need to focus on this as the most important reason and purpose of education. So thank you very much, Professor David, for your time, and Dr. Hameed, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.